everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I have a bit of a spring clean declutter. So what I've been doing for the past few months when I've been decluttering things from my collection is just kind of putting them in all different places but out of my collection, as it were. So I finally got around to gathering all of those up and just stuck them in this, I think it's a repurposed Look Fantastic box, just so they were all in one place. So there might be things in here that I have kind of gone over before, whether it be in an everyday makeup drawer or a Shop My Stash skincare drawer. I've possibly decluttered them as part of one of those videos, but I just wanted to have them all in one place and go over them all generally. And then it means that I can go through and pull out what needs to go in the bin if it's something that I would not pass on to a friend because it's terrible, or I need to put them in a box that I already have going from last year of products that my friends can go through and pick what they want from. Obviously, because I haven't seen my friends for a year at this point, I do have some old eyeshadow palettes from a previous eyeshadow palette declutter there that they can go through, and also a box that has a random load of products which is about to get a lot fuller. So why don't we go through what is in here? Just while I remember to mention, because I am absolutely terrible at linking any makeup I'm wearing in my videos in the description box, I just wanted to say bits of what is on my face. On my eyes, I do have the Colourpop at Forest Sight palette, which was the one in collaboration with Raw Beauty Christie. I do have most of the green shades on my eyes now. It did end up going a bit more grungy and dramatic than I had intended to, so if you have this palette, tread carefully with the dark shades. On my lips, I do have a Nars Velvet Lip Glide pencil, and it is in the shade Do Me Baby. I do need to get better at linking my makeup in my description box, but by the time I get around to editing and uploading a video, I've usually forgotten what I had worn. So if I remember to mention, I'll kind of just do what I did then, but it's only because I do have a newer eyeshadow palette on my eyes that I wanted to mention it. Talking about things I always forget to mention at the beginning of my videos. If you do like what you see today, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I am so close to 1,000 subscribers. I would like to hit that at some point this year. And also another reason to subscribe is I do have another giveaway coming up on my channel very soon, which I'm very excited about, so stay tuned for that. So why don't we now delve into this box of products. The things that are on the top are the things that have been decluttered most recently. The first one is this eye makeup remover from Physicians Formula. This is the coconut milk eye makeup remover. I didn't like this as an eye makeup remover because it would sting my eyes. Also because it is a very thick, almost moisturiser-like consistency. It is quite hard to get a certain amount of products out. It does come with a little squeeze hole, but you either get too little or too much out. I then tried it as a face makeup remover. I didn't like it as that either, so decided to declutter it. Another recent declutter is this lip balm from Elizabeth Arden. This is the 8-hour lip balm. I just couldn't really get on board with this one. It has a very natural herby almost scent to it, which I didn't love, and I could still smell it on my lips after I'd applied it. It is supposed to be 8 hours of moisturising, so I was wearing it before bed, but when I wake up the next day my lips would be drier as if I hadn't worn any lip balm overnight, so I just didn't love this one. Then I had this facial oil from Bye Bye Beauty. This is the CBD Booster. This is another product that has a very kind of natural herby type scent to it, which I'm not a massive fan of. This is also a really greasy oil. I've tried to apply this before moisturiser, after moisturiser, kind of on its own, and it just leaves my skin feeling like a greasy mess, and I didn't notice that it did anything. I think it is supposed to be calming in some way, but I didn't notice that it did anything to my skin. I just didn't love how it felt when it was applied. And then while we're talking about things that have that kind of natural scent to them, we have this cleansing balm from Drunk Elephant. This is the Slay Makeup Melting Butter Cleanser. I just didn't like this at all. There was this one and then one from Trilogy, which might actually be in here somewhere, that were both very similar in that they had that kind of natural scent. They both felt quite greasy on the skin, and I just didn't really love how they made my skin feel once I'd removed the makeup. Yes, okay, they were quite effective at removing the makeup, but I then felt like I had to take this product off, which I know you're probably supposed to do anyway with a double cleanse, but it just seemed like a bit too much effort to take this product off before I could apply the other products in my skincare routine. So I just did not love how this one made my skin feel, and I don't think it's worth the price point at all. This product and the Trilogy one I've just mentioned made me not like cleansing balms, but I've since tried another one from the brand Clean Zero, which I believe is a Korean skincare brand, and now I like them because that one is really, really good. So yeah, didn't love this one, which is a shame because it is an expensive product. Then we have this pressed setting powder from e.l.f. This is just their very cheap and cheerful setting powder. I don't even think it has a name to it. It is just like this, and this one is in the shade Ivory. I just did not love how this made my skin look. It didn't really do anything to finish off a look. It didn't set anything in place. It just made everything look cakey. No matter what product I would use this on top of, even if I just went into this on dry skin with it being a sort of tinted product in the shade Ivory, it just didn't look good at all, and I did not love this one. And I think it was only about £2, so I don't mind decluttering this one at all. And then speaking of e.l.f., I have this highlighter from them. This doesn't annoyingly have the name on it. I think it was Molten something or other, and this one is in the shade White Gold. This is such a dry consistency, and at first I thought it was just because it possibly had a overspray on it, but I have dug quite deep with my brush on this one and it just is very dry. It's not smooth to apply at all, and it does look very chunky on the cheeks. It also does emphasize texture, so I did not love this one at all. This is something that I think I picked up from a goodie bag in an event I went to in the past. I really miss going to events and live things and concerts and theatres and stuff, but I digress. This is a terrible highlighter and I did not enjoy this one bit. Another highlighter I didn't enjoy is this one from Revolution. This is the Vivid Baked highlighter. Another one that is quite dry. This one wasn't as bad as the one from e.l.f. This one was as well kind of chunky and did emphasize texture, and it was very blinding, but not really in a good way. It was one of those that I really had trouble blending out. It would just always look like a streak on my skin. So this one I didn't love the shade or the formula of. Then we have this eyeliner from Ico. This is the Fat Liquid Eyeliner Pen. So this one is basically like a really fat marker, and I don't go for liquid liner at the best of times, and even when I do, I want a really thin, precise, right to the waterline line. That is not something you can achieve with this. This is so fat of a tip that it would cover probably half of my eyelid when applying it, and no matter what I did with it, I just could not get it to look like the kind of nice line that I'd like, and it would always give me Amy Winehouse vibes with the eyeliner, so I just didn't love this one at all. And I don't know why I had this in my collection for so long, because I didn't like it at the very beginning. To be honest, I don't think I like anything that I've ever tried from Ico, and it's a brand that you do get quite frequently in subscription boxes, which I probably got this from. Another eyeliner that I think I got in a subscription box is this one from Huda Beauty. This is the Lifeliner. So this one has a pencil on one side, which is very smushed, and then on the other side it has a, I always do that the wrong way, a liquid liner. And I don't know if you can see there, but it is a very thick wand, and it is also a very floppy brush tip. So this is another eyeliner that always gave me Amy Winehouse vibes, because I couldn't get a thin, precise line with this one. This one was also really bad at bleeding. No matter how little of a product I would apply, after about 5 minutes it would just bleed into the creases in my eyelid and would look terrible. The pencil liner on the other side isn't great either. It does skip when you are using it across the waterline, and it isn't very good in the waterline either, so I just didn't love either part of this. And I got this around the same time that I started trying the Legit Lashes mascara, which is the sort of same shape, same kind of setup, so I was excited to try this and see what it was like, and I liked the idea of having the two products in one. But yeah, this is possibly one of the worst eyeliners I've tried. Another Huda product that I'm decluttering is this lip strobe. This one is in the shade Angelic. When I first got this product, I was just getting back into lip glosses and kind of shiny lipsticks and things like that. So when I first started applying this, I did quite like it. But then the more glosses and things that I've tried and then gone to use this one, I realised how terrible it did look, and it does definitely give you kind of Tin Man lip vibes. This one is more of a rose gold shade, but still it is very metallic and very shiny, and it doesn't wear down very gracefully either, so I just decluttered it. Another terrible lip product is this one from the brand Lip Jewel. I think I got this from a Latest in Beauty box. This was a lipstick on one end and then a lip stain on the other, but this was not a flattering shade of brown at all. It is called Hot for Chocolate, but to me it looks a bit like, well, you can imagine what it looks like. I didn't like the shade. The shade wasn't flattering at all, but this had such a terrible formula to it. When you applied the lipstick was okay. I say the shade wasn't the best for me, but the lipstick itself was okay. It was very dry and it was very matte. But when you applied this lip stain on top of it, it just started doing very weird things to it, and it kind of went almost like a sort of lip lacquer, but not in a nice way, and it went very shiny and very pearlescent, which looking in here, it doesn't look very pearlescent or anything like that. It just looks like it's shiny brown, but it would go kind of like a shiny brown at first, and then this gold would kind of come through to it once it started to dry down. And me saying about the lip strobe making me feel like I had Tin Man lips, that was just because of how it looked. This literally made me feel like I had Tin Man lips. They just would kind of set in place, and it wasn't very comfortable, and I felt like if I moved my lips at all, they would just crack at any moment. So this was pretty terrible. Yet another subscription box lipstick fail. This is from the brand Larizzi Cosmetics. This is in the shade Tidal, and it doesn't say what it actually is, but I think it was a matte liquid lipstick. This one had a terrible smell to it from the very beginning. It was almost the kind of plastic crayon type scent. And then this was an exceptionally dry liquid lipstick. It looked nice when you very first applied it. It is a really pretty shade, but after about 10 seconds, you did then end up with kind of, which I don't like to say, but that's how it looked. It was that drying of a liquid lipstick, and this was one that I didn't have in my collection for very long at all before it ended up in my declutter pile, because I just didn't enjoy how it felt or how it looked. To say the first 10 seconds really nice, but after that not so good. Then I'm decluttering this blush from 17. This one is in the shade China Pink, and the reason why I'm decluttering this one is because it is so old. This is probably one of the oldest products in my makeup collection. I've had this for at least 15 years, if not longer, because I did only used to shop in Boots in their 17 range, and I had a lot of makeup from there. I believe this whole line in general has been discontinued, but I did used to love and have a lot of their products at one point. It is a really pretty shade blush, and even though it still feels okay, it has definitely dried out and doesn't perform as well as it once did. But what do you expect for something that's at least 15 years old? Then I have these collection of brushes that I am decluttering. When I very first started getting into makeup and eyeshadows and applying eyeshadows with multiple brushes, I just purchased this really cheap set from Amazon because I kind of like the designs of them, and I didn't know what style of brushes that I liked. And then over the past year or so, I have gradually replaced each brush with the kind of style that I like. There were a few of these that I did keep in my collection for quite a while because I couldn't find anything like it, but now I have eventually purchased plenty of eye brushes that I don't feel like I need these anymore. The only one that I was tempted to keep around was this one, because this one I don't think have anything like this, but I do have other brushes that I'm still happy to work with. So it's finally time to say goodbye to this set, which did definitely see me through some good times. It definitely lasted long for the price that I paid. I don't think I paid much more than about £6 for this whole set. I do think there used to be more brushes to it. This is just 8, and I think it was at least a 10-piece set, and it did have a couple of bigger fluffy ones, but I've obviously got rid of them longer ago. I think they were the first ones that I replaced, but now I'm going to get rid of the whole set and just move on with my much better quality brushes that I have now. But definitely would say if you are just getting into makeup, buying something like this is ideal just to get your kind of preferences for what type of brushes you like for what type of products. And here is that Trilogy cleansing balm that I was talking about. So this is just the Makeup Be Gone cleansing balm. As I said earlier, very natural, kind of herby scent. Didn't like how this removed my makeup or felt afterwards. It was a very greasy feeling product. Don't feel like this was as effective as removing makeup as the Drunk Elephant one, and I've actually just noticed on here it does say avoid contact with the eyes. I was using it to remove eye makeup, so I obviously shouldn't have done that, but I gave this one a fair shot and I just didn't absolutely love it, so that's why I've got rid. I actually have another product from Trilogy here. This is the Vitamin C Moisturizing Lotion. This was another product that I feel did leave my skin feeling slightly greasy. I also didn't like the scent on this one. This one was vitamin C and was very heavily scented of orange, but a bit too orangey, quite sickly, and you could still smell it for a while after you'd applied it to your skin. It does say it's for dull skin, so I believe it was a brightening product, but I didn't notice any brightening. I didn't feel like it moisturised my skin because my skin just felt greasy, and this one didn't work well with others at all. If I put it on top or underneath anything, it would just kind of slip slide all over my face, so I didn't enjoy this at all. Next we have this SVR Anti-Brown Spot Unifying Care. I think the only reason why I've decluttered this one, to be honest, is because I don't suffer from brown spots or anything like that, so this just doesn't fit my skin type. So this one's probably something that could be passed on to someone, but I don't know anyone who suffers from brown spots. I don't know if I only used this one once and then kind of realised what it said, so didn't use it anymore. So it's not a brand new product. I have used it once, I think, but it's just not one that I would need in my collection. Then we have this Balance Me Hyaluronic Plumping Mist. I don't feel like this one did anything to my skin. It was nice and refreshing to apply, but other than that, I didn't notice that my skin felt any more hydrated. I didn't notice any plumping from it or anything like that, and I would end up going in with another product anyway, so it kind of defeated the object of having it. It was an extra step that was kind of pointless, so that's why I decluttered it. Then we have this brow pencil from e.l.f. This one is in the shade Natural Brown, and this is one that I do actually have another one in my current everyday makeup drawer. I did purchase 2 of these because I think they were only a couple of pounds, and I wanted to see which one was the best shade match for me. The one that I have is in the shade Taupe. That one works so much better. This one was a bit too dark of a brown and also a bit too warm toned, so this was just a colour match for me. But I do really like the brow product generally. Then we have a lip liner from Barry M. This one is in the shade Runway, and this is a product that I have had for a very long time, which is why I'm decluttering it. I did get this as part of a duo with a liquid lipstick. The liquid lipstick left my collection a long time ago, but I did keep hold of the lip liner. I have been getting into lip liners a lot more as of late, so I have tested quite a few ones that I do enjoy, and because I didn't absolutely love the formula of this one, because it was a slightly drier formula, and because it is quite an old product, that's why I decluttered this one. Then we have this moisturiser from the brand AG Science Meets Poetry, and this is just the Argentum Face, Eyes and Neck Moisturiser. I didn't like the smell of this one, and this one was quite greasy once applied. I don't know where I got this from, but I think I've had it a long time, so because I wasn't enjoying it or really knowing what it was doing, that's why I thought I would declutter this one. Then I'm getting rid of a couple of products from Maybelline, and they are both from the True Match line. This is the Super Blendable Perfecting Powder, and this is the Super Blendable Foundation. Neither of these products really worked for me. I found that this powder was very cakey, and I did also have to go in quite a few times to get product on my face. This is a product that did hit hard pan quite frequently. No matter how I would go in, whether it was a brush or a dry sponge, I just kept hitting hard pan, so I just couldn't get enough of the product. And then when I eventually did get products, it ends up looking quite cakey. I've paired this with numerous different foundations, and I just couldn't get it to work for me. It didn't even work with the foundation it was probably designed for. And then this foundation, I just didn't love how this looked on my skin. This one is in the shade Ivory. It was too yellow toned and also too light on my skin tone, even for in the winter months. But this is a product that I found it did go cakey no matter what powder I would use with it. It did have an effect across my hairline where I would get kind of like a build-up of it. I just didn't love generally how this looked, so I thought rather than force myself to use it, I'd just get rid. Next we have this sample of a Nars blush, and this is the Orgasm blush. This was a blush that I did really enjoy back in the day, and I think I had a few different samples like this, and I did use it quite a lot. Considering this is just a bit of blush on a card, you can get a surprisingly amount of uses out of it. So I think I did pick this up in a Feel Unique Pick and Mix samples because I had used it in the past, but definitely my preference has changed. This is a very shimmery blush, and I definitely prefer a more matte blush now, so I just didn't absolutely love this one. And again, rather than kind of force myself to use it, I've got enough blushes to be getting on with, so I just decluttered this. Then we have this lipstick from Fora, I think it is. This is the Waterproof Lipstick. This is a product where they did actually contact me on Instagram to say they would send me a free lipstick for my review. I didn't pay postage or anything like that for it. It was just a free lipstick sent to me. It didn't come in the best state. The actual whole lipstick is loose in the tube. Obviously it won't come out now because I'm trying to make a point, but if I shake it hard enough, the whole lipstick just falls out. It's all crumpled along the top. It does have all marks on the bullet as well. So I have never actually used this product because I didn't feel safe to do so. I just put it straight in here because I don't feel very comfortable using it because it doesn't look very good. Then I had this makeup remover in here from Queshy, I think it is. This is the Cleansing and Calming, and it is one of the dual ones with the oil. I do definitely love these kind of makeup removers, especially for removing eye makeup. but I feel like this one wasn't very effective. This one did require going in quite a few times to remove the eye makeup, and it also left my eyelids feeling really dry. I love the one from Clinique because that leaves behind a nice oily residue and leaves my eyelids feeling moisturised, whereas this just dried them out, so I didn't love it. Then we have this Revlon Kiss Cloud Blotted Lip Colour. This was a kind of product that I thought would be nice and lightweight, enough to possibly just wear around the house or on the school run or something, but I just didn't love it. The shade was quite a pale shade, a lot paler than it looks on the outside, that you can see there. And it did take quite a lot of building up of the product to be able to see it on your lips. I didn't like how it looked on the lips, and I felt like it faded away very quickly. I also got that line on the inner rim of my lip, so I didn't love how this one looked or how this one felt. Then I'm getting rid of this Nude Sticks Gel Colour Lip and Cheek Balm. This online did look like it would be a really pretty shade, but when it's applied to the lips, it is just a very kind of baby pink colour, so not for me at all. I also don't like this kind of products on my cheeks. I much just prefer a powder blush, so I was never going to use it for that anyway. But as a lip product, I don't like the shade on me at all, and it is quite nice as a balm, but it's just not quite hydrating enough, so I thought I would just declutter it. Then I'm getting rid of this rose spray from Grace and Stella. I think this was something that I got in a FabFitFun box, and I don't know why I kept it in the box, but I just dropped it on the floor. I don't know why I kept it in the box, possibly so I didn't drop it on the floor, and I was trying to show you that I have used it, but now it's all fizzed up, you can't tell. Before the bubbles, it was just above the label, so I have used it quite a bit, and considering I don't like anything rose scented, this wasn't bad, but I couldn't really find a use for it. It just says it's a hydrating rose facial spray, so I don't think it's anything supposed to be like makeup related. I think it is more skincare, so I don't think it's like a spray primer or anything like that, but I just don't feel the need to have a hydrating rose facial spray. I did keep this throughout the summer months, thinking when it was warmer it might be quite nice to reach for, but I just didn't, so I thought I might as well pass this one on to someone who maybe likes the smell of rose more than me and wants a hydrating facial spray. Maybe that's another reason why I kept the box, actually, so I could pass it on as a kind of whole product to someone. And then the final product in here has had something leak on it, and I don't know what. This is from ELF. This is one of their colour correcting powders, and it has the 4 shades in here. I think this was one where I got suckered into a sale where this was probably like £1 or £2, and I thought I would give it a go. I don't colour correct, and I don't really know how to colour correct, so I didn't know what colour I was supposed to put against what colour on my face. I think green is to go against redness, maybe blue's to go against redness, I really don't know, so this was not a good product for me anyway because I don't know how to colour correct. Yes, okay, I could have looked it up, and the few times that I did use this, I did just kind of go in the middle and hope for the best with all 4 colours, so I didn't use it effectively. But I just didn't enjoy this one, and it's probably user error because I was too lazy to look into it properly. But yeah, I know for a fact this was one that I was suckered in with a sale because it was probably £1 or £2. So that is everything that was in my little box. I feel so much better now that I've gone through all of these products, because now I know which ones I'm going to be putting in the bin and which ones I'm going to be putting to one side for some friends to go through. But that is it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thanks.